Welcome to another episode of CricChat. Before we begin our episode, we do want to report a missing person. If you've seen this man anywhere, please call us or contact 911. And season has begun in Calgary. It was pretty cold, especially for the morning games. With that, let's welcome Tyeb Kianni from Night Riders Cricket Club, and we're going to have a conversation with him. Have you seen this guy anywhere?
Oh, damn. I think he's missing, eh?
He's been missing, guys. We really need to find this guy.
I think I might have seen him a couple of months ago, but I'll try to contact him.
9 years ago, I don't know if aapko yaad hai ki nahi, we had this conversation. Something very similar. And a year before that, or season before that, you had won the championship and you were in elite. Same thing happened now. So you're in elite. And we're having this conversation again. Congratulations on winning the championship.
Thank you so much, Samir. First of all, I just want to thank you for inviting me. Funny enough, I was looking at the video from last few years ago as well, too. So it was amazing, actually. And I guess your show or yourself, you are the lucky charm for Night Riders. He's right. That year we won the championship and we're going to elite. And this year again, for surprise, we won the championship. Here we are again, yes.
So how was the morale like in the last season for the team? I mean, going from obviously there's ups and downs throughout the way. What was the morale like?
Just talking about our team, I think our team in the last few years, our morale has been the best that it has been in any other years. I mean, of course, we had, Night Riders have been here for 18 years. I was just looking back that this is going to be 18 years. And I was 18 years old at that time when we formed the team. So memories go long back. But, last 2-3 years, what has happened is our team has gelled together really well. And I think it took us a few years because some of the, good players that we had, of course, things happen. People move on. Life happens. You get married and you can't give that much time to cricket. But last 2-3 years, we worked on building the core for our team. And I think last year was one of the best years that we had morale-wise. It was really good. Everybody was supporting each other. I think there was one of the years that I went and played a few games and we didn't worry about, of course we play to win, but we didn't worry about who's doing what or not. The morale itself was supporting each other. And that's one of the reasons I think we made it to playoffs and won the championship.
So a lot of maturity.
100%.
A lot of maturity, yeah. Now, speaking of maturity, talk about Waqas Ejaz's contribution and performances that he has given. Obviously, yes, he was the MVP for your team this year, but he's had a significant impact on Night Riders for past little while, not just the last year, but the year before that too.
For sure. I think one of the person that I do really want to talk about is Waqas. Waqas has been a core member from last 6-7 years, even in just building the Night Riders as well too. Of course, we're the co-founders and we built that club, but last few years he brought some talent, not just bringing the talent, keeping the talent together, even I'm just saying, even financing wise as well too, a lot of sponsorship that he tried to bring us on the table. So we do appreciate that as well too. And himself, he actually stepped up. If you look at his fitness as well too, if you guys know Vicky, last couple of years, he's worked hard on his fitness, even his batting, bowling, catching, Waqas is our go-to guy. There's a lot of other guys as well too, but last year his batting was just scintillating. He was just leading from the front and doing everything that we can to win us some championships.
Yeah. Catching has never been an issue for him.
Man, I don't know. Even from all our team, I know he drops a few, but usually he's a very safe pair of hands.
Yeah.
And he was complaining too that one of the reasons we made him run from long on to long on.
I think Patriots did that too.
Especially as a spinner, your ball is gonna go, your catch is gonna go to long on, off up. So we need Vicky there, man. We make him run from long on to long on.
I think Ramiz bhai did that for the longest time too. With him, he used to be on long on. I mean, every over, Asim Ramiz are bowling and he's going back
long on to long on.
Can you talk about this? I know you've had a very good season, but your most memorable game of the season, obviously beside the finals.
Yeah.
Sure, talk about the final too, but what other games were the most memorable for you guys?
Yes. I think there were a few games as well too, but one game that was actually memorable for us was the Kannada Panther game that we won. I know there was a lot of things, rumors going about it, but at that time, actually, what happened was our captain Ali wasn't available. He was getting engaged. We actually didn't have a good team. So to win that from Kanata when they were trying their best to win and make it to playoffs, and we technically originally we did win that game. That game itself was very memorable for us. Like we won it with a very basic team. We didn't have any like Arslan was missing. There's a few other people were
I
missing.
think you're talking about
Sure.
Blackcaps. They're not Kanata.
They're
not Kanata Panthers. Nerves are still there.
Blackcaps. So we had a few games that were very close games, and I think every game last year in Premier was very good. Like even the ones we gamed, the very close games, it was a do or die game for them. And the reason why I think that game was special because we didn't have a lot of good players playing that side. Like Ali Bhai was busy himself; he wasn't playing. Arslan was busy, so few of our core players weren't playing that game, and we were playing with a lot of bench players, and that was testing our bench strength as well too. And we went ahead apart from the stuff that happened, but we originally won that game. I think that game was that actually gave us the boost as well to that we're here to win, and we're here to win with whatever players we got.
Yeah, so I do want to ask you a follow-up question about that because there was a lot of things that went in before the game as well. I was told that because you guys had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
There were some offers made or something along those lines that, hey, you know what, forget about this game. Can we talk about that?
Sure, for sure. Like we can talk about that. To be honest with you, a lot of people will talk a lot of stuff, but Night Riders does play with a lot of integrity. As far as I know, I'm the president as well too. There weren't any offers that were made up to me or anything else. A lot of people were probably joking around about it, but when we went in to play the game, it wasn't like we had players and we didn't play them purposely. People were busy. And if we wanted to do anything like that, we should have just lost the game. Like we wouldn't have, like, why would we win? So we actually went ahead and won that game. And that just shows, no matter, I know some people were looking at it, especially Preds as well. Too. If I was on Preds situation, I probably thought they're doing it on purpose. But guys, like, we didn't do it on purpose. Like, we actually wanted to win that game. We wanted to make a statement, and we actually win that game. And if you want to talk about what happened, that's going to be a later question. But we actually wanted to win, and we won that game.
Yeah, I remember you. What was it like? Won by 7-8 runs or something along those lines. It was a tight game.
It was a tight game, and I think even they had some good players that were still batting. And
Rizwan was playing for them.
Rizwan was playing for them. Even Sami at the end of the day, when there was like 20 runs left, he was still playing. So if we actually to your back question, if you actually really wanted to lose that game, we could have just dropped some catches and we lost that game. But we actually didn't. We actually wanted to win that game. And to your point, we won from 7-8 runs from those guys.
I actually reached out to Afridi right after when I saw the scorecard and everything. And I messaged him and I said, hey, you know what? There were a lot of talks before, and good on you guys for proving everybody wrong. But obviously things happened.
Correct.
And do you think you guys made a mistake where you didn't register the player? What happened there?
Yeah, to be honest with you, yes and no. The reason why it's for us, it was very straightforward. What happened was, I'll get into detail right away with this. What happened was we had a team called Night Rider Heat for only T20 that year. Okay. So in the beginning of the season, whatever players were in that T20, because T20 you cannot float up and down, but 35 you can float up and down.
Sure, yeah.
Since we didn't have a 35-over team, we actually emailed, once you get the registration done, we emailed the registrar saying everybody from Night Rider Heat will be automatically registered for 50 overs for Night Riders because we don't have a team. And all these guys, if they need anybody, they can play. We have a big pool of players that can play. What happened was Lalit Saini, Rohit, he came 2-3 weeks later. We did register him for Heat. But technically, now we're thinking every player is registered for there. But I think to register our point, we never email for that part saying he should be registered. So it's like a 50, it's a gray area. To us, we're thinking everybody that's registered for Heat should be technically allowed. And believe me, the day when we announced, the night before when Afridi, he announced the team, Rohit wasn't actually going to play. Okay. One player got busy and he took a bus. I still remember he came, he said, I'm just going to come to, he's a guy who's an athlete. He just wants to play. He's like, I'll just be at the ground anyways. So we thought if we need him, we'll use him at 12th man. But what happened was we're short of players. And then Imad asked me what's going on. I said, Rohit is here. I'm like, might as well play him. So we were not thinking he's registered or not registered. We were thinking everybody that's registered for Night Riders Heat technically is it should be eligible to play for Night Riders. And then stuff happened later when they checked out that he wasn't registered. So technically, yes, it's our fault in a way that we should have. But who thinks about that? Like,
No.
once I emailed the league, we thought like everybody's registered for Night Riders, and that's it. It's not like we're grabbing a player from outside and making him play and trying to do something like that.
Right.
In our minds, we were thinking we can just play him.
Yeah, I remember I've been part of the registering players and things like that for my team in the past, and it can be very tricky.
Correct.
And some teams are always looking for the loopholes.
You're right. You're right.
So it's good to have you on the show and clear the air, right?
No, and I thank you for asking this question, because there's still a lot. I still go anywhere in the media and people are still asking me these questions. I'm like, guys, it's over. We trust me. We didn't do anything like that to make sure that Blackcaps. If we wanted to, we'd just lost the game, man.
Exactly.
But just on that point, there's actually a rule from league. It's in the bylaws that if there's people that are not registered, the captains should actually talk to the umpire before the game. But I'm sure that bylaws is not, and I think league is working on it to, make sure there is no loophole now. Because if you let somebody play the game now, and I think game shouldn't be reversed. Because if both parties agreed, if I'm playing you in my team and you're not registered, and the other person should know because the roster is there, if they don't want Samir to play the game, they shouldn't allow him. But if they do allow later on, they shouldn't be able to go back and change the game.
There shouldn't be a complaint over this. Yeah.
Correct. After everything is done.
Yeah, after even the uniform, right? Like that's been a problem. Like especially on colder days, people are just being
allow and
really
not allow.
difficult.
Yeah.
When you're playing the semifinal, you're planning a day before or a week before. You're having this team meeting and things like that, and you're saying, okay, you're gonna play Preds. When it's decided.
Correct.
And then you find out a few hours before you sleep, you're playing a different team. You're playing Blackcaps.
Yeah.
What's going on in your WhatsApp group, or what's going on in those things?
Even guys, our WhatsApp group was blowing up. We had no idea because we're getting ready for you guys, and you're right. We already have the team, like how we're gonna get this person, who we're gonna play, who we're gonna open up, and all of a sudden we got an email saying you're playing Blackcaps. For us, to be honest with you, it didn't matter because the reason why we were ready to, as Samir said, Night Riders is one of the clubs that is like, Division 1 premier, you call it, we're specialists. Like, we're there to win the premiers. We've won it like 3 times. So it doesn't matter to us. I think we would have had more fun with Preds, actually. I think we would have had this competition. Nothing against Blackcaps. I think this was their first year. They were doing really good for their first year team. They had really good players. They could beat anybody any day. But we were getting ready for them. And when we heard about Blackcaps, I think we were a little bit relieved as well too. It didn't matter to us who were coming, but we were relieved that, what, instead of playing Preds, we're playing Blackcaps.
I would agree with that, and the reason is Preds was on song.
Yeah.
If you look at the way we were playing T20.
Yeah.
And when we ended up winning the championship, and it was just a week after, we have playoffs against you guys, and all of a sudden it's gone. I mean, the morale for our team was very high at the time.
Yeah.
And our team felt that we can beat anybody.
Correct. When momentum is there, of course, yeah.
Yeah. The way things were going. So, yeah, I do agree, but things happen.
Yeah.
But here we are.
I know. Welcome to Elite, baby.
CDCL does funny things to you.
That's right.
Most challenging ground to play at in Calgary?
I think it'll be Riley Park.
With the grass.
With the grass, and even sometimes I haven't played there in a couple of years now, but like the uneven, sometimes the ball would do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, and with the grass too as well too. Yeah, Riley Park.
Absolutely. If you could change one cricket rule permanently, what would it be?
I think we'll change the rule for our league. Once the game is done, I think that should be it. There's no more calling. That's it. I think I'll change that rule.
That's why I wanted to ask you this to see if you would pick up on that, but
I would do it right away, bro. We do not want, even Night Riders, we do not want the headache of who's going to play the playoffs or not. It was even the last few meetings that I had to go through because, if anybody's challenging to for the playoffs, and of course is right, but there's no way a championship team, and I had to go to these meetings, even I was busy, I had to make sure that I'm there. So there are a lot of stuff going on just because of that rule. So I think that's one rule I would want to change.
Who's the most underrated cricket player in the last decade in the world?
In the world?
Internationally, sure.
Internationally. In the world.
Or you can go local. Any?
Let's go local. In CDCL?
Sure.
CDCL, I think the most underrated player would be KT. I think he has a lot of talent. Like even last year, not because he's my really good friend, but last year even himself, even with batting, I think he proved a lot. He was the main bat, and he brought Zalmi to the playoffs and won the championship. And I think this guy has way more talent than he was ever appreciated for. So KT for sure.
There's no bitter feelings of between you guys, him leaving the team or anything like that?
No, never. We've always been good friends. We are. His vision was a little bit different than what Night Riders was. Night Riders was always, local club cricket. His was to grow an academy and everything like that. So I believe with local players, you just need a core team. And this is what Night Riders does from last year. Is we just have a 7 to 8 people core team. And then we just build a few players on top of that. And that's how we've been growing. So we just have different visions. So I think he did good for Zalmi as well too. And he did a lot of good stuff actually. And he couldn't have done with Night Riders for sure.
Fair enough. Speaking of the legacies, I know Night Riders, as you said, have been playing here for 18 years.
18 years. This is 18th year, yeah.
One player came to my mind, Tariq.
Yes.
Can you talk about his legacy?
100%. 100%. So a lot of people might not know about Tariq. Tariq Skandar played with us for 5 to 6 years, and that time Nider was just in the growing stage. And if you guys didn't know Tariq, he played with heart, man. He was bowler. And he would every time. I remember I was captain as well too. And if I ever need a wicket, he would just come up to me and say, "Give me the ball. Let me show you." And just bowling with the heart. And he would like get somebody out and take his shirt off and go around, take a lap. And then that's who he was. Same thing with batting. I remember when we were always a Premier Division team, and we went to Elite, and we actually beat United. And United was like unbeatable that year.
Stacked, yeah.
And I remember for next 2-3 years we beat United, and Tariq actually started off that. I remember he hit like 70 odd, and that player was just energy. Like he made us believe that we can compete in Elite and we can compete at a higher level. So thank you for remembering him, and I do remember him. Like we always remember him in the beginning of our season. Him and another person as well too, Janzeb as well too. Sayyid Janzeb Kamran, he passed away too as well. Very good young talent, and an unfortunate accident. Of course he went away too. But two very talented cricket nighters. They're always there. Their shirts are retired, and they're always there for us.
Yeah, and the thing is, there could be some Night Riders, even in future, they might not know about them. So it's 100%. Nice to recognize their efforts, and it's good on you for retiring their jerseys.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what cricket format should be abandoned?
I think in here, it should, like in CDCL, it should be 50 overs. To be honest with you, 35 to 40 overs is pretty good, and T20, and I think that's where the world is going right now. They want more entertainment, So I think 50 overs in Canada. I'm just talking in the world. I just don't want to ban it, but in Canada, I think it should be 50 overs.
All right.
Especially us playing as well too. I think 50 overs is too much now. 40 overs, you play.
40 is good.
You play the game, you go home, man. You still have time to do stuff.
That's right. If cricket were to add another format, what would it be?
Just piggyback on the same thing. It should be T10. I think shorter the format, I think it'll be more entertainment. More people can come out, especially in countries like this, where people they don't even get the game. And if you tell them to come and wait a whole day, I think that's more challenging than you telling somebody come for an hour and watch some cricket.
Exactly.
So I think that'll be very interesting. It goes that way in CDCL as well too. T10.
Yeah, T10 it is.
Yeah.
With that, we conclude this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Stay connected. Share this with your family and friends, and see you next time.